Loving someone is a process, from acquiring to giving, and even willing to change. So today, let's see together if it will change for you. Today, let's all together intuitively choose the set that belongs to Jessie from the 3 sets of arrays below. Let's look at the first set of discs we chose. In fact, from the calculation point of view, it is very difficult for it to change for you in the short term. This doesn't mean he doesn't love or like you enough, but that many times in your interactions, your changes are for self-control. Then, through him, you can validate the idea that he loves you, or obtain the satisfaction of him loving you, him liking you. So many times your starting point and your voice come from you, not because of him. So for him, he feels that you have never really stood on his side for him to consider. So it often happens in your relationship. Like many times when he agrees, it sounds very good. Even the drawings are good and magnificent. But when it is actually implemented at the practical level, you will find out it seems like there's nothing good at all. It's just that he can't fulfill his promise, and you can't either. It is to get something substantive in his speech becomes a feedback. And then, sometimes you're not satisfied, and you'll keep playfully demanding him and talking to him, and then slowly, you'll realize that he seems to be that kind of person. Your ears have calloused, and then started to have their own invincible shield. No matter what can be perfunctory. After all, you do your thing and I do mine. I have my own ideas, and even you might think he seems very... Stubbornness is like mini balls that cannot be recalled. Then you have to feel quite painful to do it. And even in this part of the relationship, there is a state in your relationship that may, one side or the other is still in a siege-like state. You hope that the other party can change the current situation, welcome you, then even come to marry you, or give you a longer-term commitment. But you will find that he promises well, and some say you say he is willing to give you. Well, rice will cost money, but only a stable and realistic level will benefit you. So looking at the situation of this card, the first thing you need to see is that your requirement for him is round. You really like him. You really want to fulfill him. Whether you hope for a unique change or want to achieve satisfaction through controlling him, this is something you need to see, as well as for. You are expecting these people to break the siege. For these friends, that is, when you need to see a point, it is quite difficult in the short term. So this is subjective. The above are examples of choices, and I hope they can help and support you. Let's take a look at the second set of dishes. From the look of it, you guys seem to be very meticulous players. That is, you can handle it very squarely, and you also know how to handle it. What kind of heat, what kind of temperature, and what kind of advance and retreat degree. But at your place, there will actually be a sense of fluctuation. That is, if you can't handle this person, or if this person makes you feel unsatisfied even when they're by your side, even if you want to back off, you'll find you still have them behind you. Transform it has such a state that sometimes your confidence comes from you. And secondly, from the resources around you. With your peach blossom, there are times when you feel like it isn't forever unreachable, just because this is a state you can choose. Then, within your personnel, our interpersonal relationships can provide you with such support, even actually, it will make you feel somewhat hollow and anxious, as in, it's not like I don't have people around me or people behind me, and without you, I am not bereft of others. If you don't want to change, I can make someone else willing to change for me. So this displays a certain state. As for this ranking, the 4th is completely central. So, talking about your team, you have the potential to make others change for you. But there's a problem. The other person changes for you. You want the other person to make some actions for you, and then make some feedback. But you actually don't express too much about your truth in words. These two news. Actually, you're suppressing your true feelings. Even if you have such ability, sometimes it may be affected by a small point. Sometimes you might suppress your emotions, making it hard for the other person to understand what you really need. Sometimes you might collide with each other emotionally or give something to each other, but it seems like that's not what the other person needs. So for this set of cards you guys are talking about, the other party has changed this level and willingness for you, but you have to understand a point is, you need to find the key to open the other person, because there are a lot. Then you like to let the other person guess, and your mind is actually quite changeable. Then it's kind of like your emotions have already walked a long way. It's like you've already rehearsed the play in your mind, whether you're happy or not after your time with him. He's very confused, he doesn't know what you're doing, but you already feel better, I'm leaving now. So, when in this state, the biggest problem for you guys with these cards is not that the other party has no intention or the other party does not have. The ability is completely changed, but the other party can't get your point. The communication between you two has problems. There is no action between the two people. But look at this kind of communication. It's not overt communication. So with this set of cards, what you need to do is to establish communication first. If the other person changes for you, speaks for you, let it out. Don't suppress yourself. The above is the second choice for your shooting. Hope it can help, and best wishes to you. Let's take a look at the third deck. You guys are strong. This set of cards, there's a phenomenon where many times the other person is already changing for you, and you've come to understand them. But the other party doesn't actually speak. He actually did a lot, and sometimes he might... His verbal status may not have made many promises or said much to you, but he has already acted on it, or sometimes you expect him to change inside, but you don't say, or you have no name to say the other party actually feels such a kind of entanglement, such a kind of pressure, so the other party actually already will, in life, in reality level, then subtly make some changes. So the final change, that deepest reason, is because of what reason? Is because of the... To put it simply, he likes you, so he likes you and doesn't want to lose this relationship. He has fears in his heart in this relationship with you. So he will want to keep grabbing. What can he grab? If he grabs, is what he feels like he is. And will immediately soothe you or take actions to change your mood. Your emotions will fluctuate strongly this way. Discard the bad state. So for him, there is a strong sense of solidity in your relationship. And there's a strong desire to grab tightly, to hold on tightly, and there's a strong sense of control. The sense of control comes from a kind of insecurity in your heart because you gave it in the process of getting along with him. The other party has given each other too many wonderful feelings. These feelings will make both parties want to happen. This situation isn't just when he's around you, but also when you're around him. Look, many people will experience this. The entanglement, the constant entanglement is a state, and both people actually want this relationship to go further. Can get more from the relationship between two people, and then get more sense of security, preserve the current feeling. But there will be a state, sometimes you just do not show it. The surface expression is to have that kind, and then it's that kind. If you don't change, it's also that you won't change. It doesn't matter over there either. Then it's like we are both in the game state, but in fact, both of you inside want to hold each other tightly, so it's this kind of relationship. No matter what state you are in, you will find out. Even if you have ever wanted to break or cut it off, there are some inexplicable opportunities that put you two together or continue the relationship in such a situation. Actually, this relationship is for both of you. Everyone has very beautiful feelings in their heart. No matter if it's related to the past or that kind of... It's about an emotional experience with Wei. Anyway, it's between the two of you. Actually, no matter what actions, practices, or language he has, he is already subtly changing for young people. So if we look at this group, he wants to hold on to each other tightly. Or have you changed a lot on Weibo? So, looking at this theme, for you guys, what you should consider is not whether the other party will change this issue for you, but you have to honestly face your own heart. What kind of idea do you really have for him? In other words, that everyone's trying to consider what can help you all at the moment, and also bless you.